Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. I'm gonna make sure the tabs change and we're gonna get straight into it because we on a short time limit. We trying to get this in about less than 30 minutes. Quick recap and quick analysis. Alright, let's see. Okay, change the tabs. Okay, let's go. Let's get started. Alright, y'all, let me pull up my economic calendar, but I'm putting it up on the phone. I ain't gonna do it on the screen. Today we have durable goods at 7:30, GDP at 7:30, and that's pretty much it for today, September the 25th. Tomorrow we have at 9 a.m. existing home sales, and that's pretty much it for tomorrow, which will be Friday the 26th. All right, that's the economic news. Give me 1 second. And for earnings, let's check this out. For the earnings that we have today and today, we have CarMax came out in the AM. BlackBerry came in the AM. Costco this evening. Um, and then Friday, like we said, it's not nothing for Friday. All right, now let's get into the recap. Then we'll get into the analysis. All right. So I'm gonna go to the hourly for the recap. Well, I'll go to the daily. It's fine. All right, daily, and it might be kind of mixed together, the recap and the analysis. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It was a little bit at the beginning of the week. It was a little challenging, y'all know we was bullish, and we still technically overall bullish, but we um we definitely took shorts. I took shorts. So we had to identify the market wanting to come down. But as y'all see, Monday we ended up having a green candle closure, which was nice. Um, the green candle closure, what did that tell us? Hey, market want to continue. We had said on our analysis when we closed right here, we said, hey, on this week, our goal is to take this high because we closed green. We never came and took that high yet. So we was aiming for that high. Of course, y'all see I deleted the target level, but that was our target. We was trying to go up to 661.89. I mean 664.89, and stay in between is 654.30. So Monday came, we took that was the only day we got to take our longs. After Monday, we weren't able to take any more longs. And it was we took these longs off of ES. I didn't get in on SPY. Um, I just got in on ES because I believe it was Monday when it happened. It already took the high, like early. Let me see. What is it? Monday. Yeah, it was already towards the high early. So we took them on ES. We didn't trade. No, did we trade it? Matter of fact, let me pull up my contract. Just to make sure. I don't think I took it on Monday in SPY. See, that's the thing when I gotta do these recaps and I'll be a couple days away. Sometimes it'd be hard for me to remember. Let me check and see. It ain't gonna take long. What was it? The 22nd? 22nd. That's the 23rd. Yeah. We didn't take the loans on SPY. Okay. So we only took it on ES. That's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure I didn't take it on SPY because it was already towards our target. Um, by the time we ended up doing the first hour, we already was at the target. But we took the loans on ES. Um, I believe we took it right after market structure shift, like right around here. We took the loans and we just held them. We took ES loans. We took one MES loan, two MES loans, and then we added it right here when it gave us our pullback and we started to see market structure shift again. We ended up adding more on our futures. Once we got up here and got this first red candle, I ended up getting out. That's where I completely closed all trades. Um, and I was done for the day. Then I'm glad I did because literally it just went straight sideways after that. So that was our Monday recap. We took our loans, took it to our targets at 664, well, which was ES. Let's switch to ES just so we can say the exact target. Because like I said, we didn't take it on spot. We took it on ES. And that's more because y'all know I just don't like buying contracts on Monday. I be feeling like they overpriced. So that's why I much rather trade my futures on a Monday. But like y'all can see, like I said, we end up taking them loans. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we end up taking them loans. Uh, right around here to 617. I mean 67.19. Took the loans up to our target. When it pulled back, y'all see where I drew my box. Like I said, I was on a lower time frame. I believe this zone was on the 15 minute. When I seen it break back out of this 15 minute box, I ended up taking some more loans. And like I said, as soon as that first red candle came, we got out. Um, and we was completely out of all trades. So it was a smooth Monday. Um, After that, like we said, that was our Monday. Tuesday ended up coming. Now, let's go to that daily. Let's go to the daily so we can give y'all what we end up having to see or what we was looking for Tuesday and ended up having to switch to shorts. And like I told y'all, I was only looking for longs, but I'm gonna show y'all what made me want to take some shorts. Give me 1 second. It's taking a while to load up. All right. And it wasn't the short idea wasn't for something long term. It was just, hey, we might flush, for like at least a day or two. So that's why I took the short for at least a day or two. I honestly, once I seen that first red day came, I was like, we might have 3 days red now. Um, and we might actually dump, which we are doing currently. But so, like I said, Monday ended up coming and it was green. All right. This is where I did take a B plus trade on SPY. Soon we took that high, I had gotten a loan and literally I got out instantly. I think I only lost like $8 on the contract and then I got out. Cause like it looked like we just sweeping the high. But our target was what? To take the high of this, what was it? 667.29. We did it. We took the high because we ended up getting to 667.34. We took the high, so it did what it was supposed to do, but it was just a sweep of the high, then drop. What made me realize, hey, we might be dumping was, and it took me a little while. I didn't get in initially off of the drop. It took me a little bit before I started saying, okay, let me get in some of these shorts. Um, I think we was on lower time frame when I got in. Yeah, I think it was this 15 minute. It was when the 15 minutes when I got in. It took me a while I had to let the market play out a little bit before I decided to get in. Like I said, we got in up here. We ended up getting stopped out. I got stopped out before. I think I got out soon. It even came back to this range because I was like, I'm expecting it to keep going. And like I said, I only lost $8 on that contract, which was perfect because I got out in perfect timing. Because they ended up dumping right after I got out. Um, yeah, it started dumping. The market started moving aggressively hard, like down. I told y'all Tuesday we had Powell speaking at 11:30, and I was like, okay, we got Powell coming to speak. If we want to move up in the market, Powell gonna have to push us up. That's what I was saying. Powell will have to do it. If he don't do it, I think we just gonna keep flushing down and go to our daily fair value gaps where I was telling y'all on the analysis. If we ever see a first red candle, we looking for that market to come to the daily fair value gap for the potential bounce. Or if it want to break through the fair value gaps, it can be making a lower low and we can switch to a downtrend. So we was dropping, dropping, dropping. We dropped pretty hard. I didn't get in here. We ended up making a lower low. I didn't get in still. Cause just me knowing Powell finna speak, I was like, nah, I'm just gonna wait it out. Um, we turned green here. Now this was my last chance of me trying to take another long on SPY. I got in one light contract just because I knew Powell speaking. Got in one light contract. Set my stop loss at the bottom of the green. I was aiming all the way for us to push all the way back to the highs. Um, and literally, I think the contract I bought was like $20, something like that. It wasn't nothing. I was just looking to make like $100 or something if it come up here. Um, yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna let Powell speak, and this is literally right when he was gonna speak. Powell came on, the market really didn't even move really when he was talking. I was watching him talk live. It didn't really do nothing. This all happened after his whole call was done with, pretty much. Um, I mean his meeting was done with, but or speaking was done with. But we was in the loans. We ended up getting stopped out. We didn't lose much on that contract. Probably I think $8. No, it was about $7 on that. $7 or $6 on that one we lost. Um, got out of that. Um, and once it dropped and made its lower low, that's when I got in shorts. So right here, I switched. When I got stopped out, switch. I said, okay, market is not trying to come up. It's time for me to look for them shorts. I started looking over here. I didn't have this small hourly gap mark, but I did have this big one mark. So I was like, okay, market might be coming to this big hourly and then potentially bouncing. Um, so I took the shorts to go down to there. I on my SPY, I end up buying 2-day contracts just because I was like, the way it's dropping, even if it come down here, I don't think we're gonna push all the way back to the highs. With this, it more likely we're gonna end up closing red. And if we close red, what did I tell y'all? We close red, I expect us to come down to a daily fair value gap to bounce. Because the market is gonna be looking for a low. And me knowing it's already about 1 o'clock. We already pretty far down. It's gonna take a lot to push all the way back up to the highs to turn green. And after Powell already spoke, it's like what else can push it up if it wasn't Powell? So I end up taking 2-day contract shorts um on SPY. I end up getting six. It was a 657 and 661. No, yeah, 657, 661 shorts. Um, right here, like I told y'all, I was already seeing that we was looking like we are gonna close red. And I was like, okay, well, where will we bounce at? I was like, well, the only spot I see that we can bounce at is right here at this first fair value gap at 659. So I was like, okay, 659 is cool. And then I said, if we want to break past there, then we might bounce at this 656. So that's why I bought that 657 and 661 shorts. I took both of those just because I was like, well, even though 667 won't get hit, uh, maybe not get hit. I know my 661s will, and we'll get down to 659. And I was like, if the market just want to be straight strong and leave a fair value gap, um, we get down to the 657, which we didn't make the fair value gap, or at least not yet. I mean, market could always come up and then come back down, but yeah, that will end up happening Wednesday. We woke up, market did go up on us. We was expecting it to just flush. It did go up on us overnight, but and we still held our contracts. We was like, nah, we holding it. Cause it got to bounce off of something. So I held it. We ended up coming down perfect. I got to sell my contracts. Sold all my contracts. Um, I was thinking about holding. Um, I was thinking about holding one more because they expired today. They expired on the 25th. I was thinking about holding one of them just in case we dropped some more, but I didn't, which is fine. I ain't even mad because it probably would have killed my contract anyways, holding till it was 0 DTE. Unless we just flush all the way down today, then it's gonna suck. I'm like, dang, I could have held. But yeah, we end up catching this whole drop. 'Cause like I said, I ended up getting in around here, right around here, yes, on that Tuesday. So we basically caught this whole drop. Yeah, it killed some of it because it ended up basically opening where we had got in it. So it did kill our contract some, but we still caught this whole drop for Wednesday. And that's our recap. Now let's get into this analysis and then we done. And we should have it under 30 minutes. Okay, let's see. We just gotta do 5 minutes here. And we be good. Alright. Now, for our weekly analysis. My bad, I said weekly, daily analysis. For September 25th. Alright. As we can see, y'all, let me hide this. We end up making our higher high. Perfect. Higher high. We got a red candle. It's telling us, hey, market is looking to make a low. Is it going to be a lower low or would it be a higher low? We got to see. If we get a green candle, it probably gonna be it can potentially be a higher low. Don't necessarily mean it until we take that high. But right now we know, hey, it's red candles. Market is looking to go down. Where can we bounce it? All right. One, we can bounce here at this daily fair value gap. Right here at this 659 area that I showed y'all. Let me turn these back on. We can bounce here at this bigger daily fair value gap where we once bounced before at 656.90 down to 654.53. So we can bounce either there, here, or there. Currently, pre-market, we are below this fair value. As y'all can see, this orange line is showing the pre-market right here. We're currently at 658.09, so we're below this daily fair value gap right here, this first one. So in my head, it's kind of telling me if we open up below here, which it look like we only got 10 minutes, look like we potentially gonna be looking to if the market want to stay bullish and not break to a downtrend, it's going to come down to this 656.90 area, and it has to bounce. I do expect us to come down here today. I do expect us to get down to 656.90. Just because we opening below this daily fair value gap. So I'm not looking to go long at all until we come tap this 656.90. All right. So we'll set that alert there. That's the only time I start potentially looking for longs. But if we close today, Thursday, close inside of this gap, I expect it to go to the bottom gap. If we close below the gap, then I'm expecting us to do that retest. If we fail to come back inside, we should be dropping. We can drop down to 650, drop down to 643. Got a lot of space to drop. Okay. So literally, this is the last hope and chance. Today is probably the last hope and chance. Unless we get like a sideways day, then whatever day that come hit this 656.90, that's our last hope and chance day for the Bulls. Okay, currently. So like I said, we got red, red, red. I'm still expecting the market to come down until we see our first green daily candle. So, let's check out the hourly real quick, and then that should be it for SPY. And this is the same thing for ES, y'all. So we just gonna do it for SPY. Alright. And we didn't take any trades on any other stocks. We only took SPY. And well no, we took on that initial Monday, we took longs on Meta. I kinda jumped in too early. And I ended up having to close it literally the same day. Just because I didn't like it. I just didn't like how they looked, and I'm glad I did close because it ended up coming down. Uh, and I was about to get back in when I told y'all that one level at that 760, 73. But I was like, hey, I wanted to come down there, but I need to see a green candle close above it. And we didn't get it, so I didn't get back in. So, um, now spot for entries. If we end up closing green here, possibly we could see it come back up and retest this fair value gap. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to come up here and retest this daily fair value gap and this hourly fair value gap. And then that's where I possibly will be looking to go short to come all the way down to 656. All right. That's where I'm looking potentially to go short. If we close green on this this hourly. Just because I don't think we want to leave a gap for the daily. Because currently where we at, we going to leave a gap. You see that? Currently where we at, we going to leave a gap. We got to come all the way up here to the 659.65 just to clear that gap. If it want to leave that gap, it's fine, I guess. But I don't think we want to leave a gap. But you never know. If it leave a gap, it's okay. All right. So I'm only looking for potential longs once we get down to 656.90, and then I'm looking for potential shorts if we get up to the 659.11, whichever one we go to first. That one I'm gonna look for. Okay, if we go up here, I'm looking for the shorts. We come down here first, potentially looking for the longs. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's our analysis. So we gonna go and call it. We barely made it, but we made it in that 30 minutes. All right. Y'all have a good one. Your boy keeps